Chapter 9, Claude. Oh, interesting. Actually, I didn't notice that before, but yeah, it's Claude now. You see the thing? It says Claude. Does it say Karma or Claude before? Oh yeah, it says Karma, then it says Claude. Interesting. Interesting little, little like, thing, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Just like interesting change, I guess. Alright, so I guess we're training. I guess we're still training a bit, I guess. And we're getting ready to save the king and queen, I believe? The king and queen, right? I assume King Gennaro and Queen Ophelia, they're stuck in prison, because Alcaster took over the kingdom and everything. So we're gonna be on a rescue mission. But for now, I guess we're training a bit. So today I will land another hit on you, Karma. If you can, darling. I welcome the challenge. And I guess, yeah, everyone just calls him Claude now. Secret is out. He's the prince, from a different kingdom and everything. Princess, your side is open. I bring my sword up closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Tonight is the first night I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sounds of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? Well, I mean, depending on the size of the battle, like a really big battle, there'll be like formations and everything, right? We've been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow is the day we enact our plan, we're doing some last-minute practice. Remember, fighting back-to-back is better than doing it alone. Yes, it's also very cinematic. Claude dodges Julian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. Only he would tell me what was wrong with him. Probably the curse or whatever. We don't know how to break the curse, huh? Because we don't know his story. He says like the beauty's curse, but we don't know what that relates to. Again, the Beauty and the Beast, I believe, but that's not like a. I think I actually looked it up. It is a fairy tale, but it's not like a Grimm's brother tale or whatever, right? Not traditional fairy tale. At least according to the game, anyway. All the fairy tales are based on the Grimm tales, right? Like Grimm. When Claude finally calls the end of the practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to me, a soft expression on his face. And if it comes down to it, Julian and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you, that's our job as knights. I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer. It's late. We should all get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Lucette, you should go to bed. Princess, I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyway. Be that as it may, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. Keep practicing, or I want to keep talking to you? I mean, let's keep practicing. We gotta, you gotta like level up. Gotta grind that experience points to, increase our swordsmanship or something. I don't know. Princess, if you overexert yourself, your reflexes will be slow tomorrow. But I'm nowhere near as good as Julian and Garland. You sure you won't reconsider going, Princess? No. So please stop insisting I reconsider. I will go to save my father. Claude sighs out and leans forward to set a hand on my head. Head pat? Lucette, I promise you'll stay behind me for attempt. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the Martian. But that is cowardly. Well, I mean, what's the phrase? Discretion is the better part of valor, Lucette, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind. Please, Lucette, give me the peace of mind. Well, I mean, I feel like we're just gonna like dive straight into the bad end anyway, so how about we can't promise that, Then again, we're still, I guess we're sticking to our personality, right? We're not a damsel in distress. take care of ourselves, even though the last 3 times didn't work out. But this time it'll work out because we have a sword, right? Princess, I'll be fighting right beside you if it comes down to it. I'm going to protect him. Staying behind him will only have him suffering because of me. Stubborn until the very end. I only want to be on equal footing with you. Claude sighs, but does not say anything. Let's attempt sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him from his cold, dying hands. Tonight's the night, and everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off of my chest because we're going straight into the bad end probably. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except the princess. Rumpel suddenly appears, and he's coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course, we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We'll be waiting for you tonight so that we can celebrate everyone's return. And prepare the body bags. Anyway, be careful. Emmeline, who has been everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing right beside him now with a smile. I will pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers, and I can tell she is uncertain. She has the great knights of Caldera, the witches and the prince. You'll be fine. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured that we will keep the princess safe. We're not gonna let Alcaster get away with what he did to Angel and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It's always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I guess 2 sides of the same coin, or maybe that's not the right metaphor. Sometimes, having so much determination might be interpreted as stubbornness. Depends on the context. It is as if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable, and always take steps in the right direction. That is why I know you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, well, I'll be waiting for you, all of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. All walk to our deaths. It is Delora who walks away first. We all follow behind. The night has just begun. Alright. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. Time to sneak in. So put on your sneaking suits, everyone. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There's a hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. Just, look at the Soliton radar, make sure their, vision cones don't detect you. On my signal. La puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It is an abrupt gesture and doesn't last long. The motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will all be fine. We will be fine. We will be fine. That's like a reassurance. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Julian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me and Claude is at my back. Oh, just like a D&D adventuring party going through the dungeon. This small tunnel makes it seem like we're not a lot of people. This way. We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? How does he know? I don't know. I guess we'll explore later on. I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us, if there's any to be done. I know. I only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed, I would be able to fight to my full extent. I think you're still quite capable with all your magic, puppeteer. Oh, a compliment. It's an honor. Miss Karma. I'm only distressed because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. Well, I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because, you know, his curse still might affect it, even, you know, even if you love someone else. He did say, you know, all the girlfriends and the wives, you know, just jump on him anyway, despite their feelings beforehand. We're here. Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. They should lead to the throne room. I did not know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does those Waltz know about the palace? I wonder, does Waltz know, or was he told? You know, he could have just been told by Rod, you know, and probably Parfait as well. Parfait probably also know. Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. And also, I guess, Delora as well, because she was like a doll, right? For like a year, or whatever, right? Or maybe, I don't know, was it a year? I can't remember. Something like that. For a long time, anyway, so she would probably know the ins and outs of this castle as well. So a lot of people would know, as it turns out. Alright, and now we split up, we sneak around. I sit close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. Wow. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground, tranquilized. Tranquilized? How you say tranquilized? Tranquilized. I don't know why I say that weird. Tranquilized. They got, you know, sleep. Delora drops her hands once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all the soldiers standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is so difficult, especially with such a group. No stealth, you know, no stealth spell, you know, just get stealth camo, no? Eventually we arrive just outside the tunnel that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly and then at Claude, who nods, a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape, as Delora and Jurian Garland continue on to the prison. They should be fine, but I'm still worried. I know the cursor still pops up, because I'm using the keyboard now to, like, advance the text, so I'm not clicking all the time. The cursor is not in the way, so, you know, I don't know, because sometimes it's in the way. Sometimes when I point out things, I guess, you know, like this. Point out her eyes, like, then I can use the cursor, but otherwise, no, I want to keep it, you know, out of the game. I guess I could just, like, whoop, just, like, keep it out of the window, I guess. Anyway. They should be fine, but I'm still worried. My eyes wander to Claude, and I bite down my lower lip, but I notice that his hands once again raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Grr. Why is he so angry? Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Claude? Just need some space, princess. But I'm fine. Angry. There's anime, you know, angry veins. It's black though. Usually it's red. I guess black for some reason. This is like really angry. I cannot help but feel irritated the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this way. It's... He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right. Most of the time, he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this thing. It's like he's two different people. I cannot understand why he's like this. Well, actually, yeah, maybe it is Beauty and the Beast. I think about it, because, you know, I guess I didn't really put... I guess I didn't understand, because, you know, he doesn't, like, transform to a beast or anything, but Maybe he does, you know, on the inside anyway. He always talks about how being beautiful on the outside and the inside. So maybe it's on the inside. He's sometimes, I guess, you know, he turns like really antisocial and angry and everything. Right? All his negative feelings just like rise to the top, and that's him being a beast. Maybe sometimes, you know. Or really, well, it's more like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I guess, in that case. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Lucette, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. Or more accurately, you'd be afraid of me. Afraid of you, eh? I used up all my safe slots. Let's rotate, I guess. I kinda wanna keep the beginning same. How about I'll just have to save over the rod route, starting from here, I guess. Alright. Okay, return. You'd be afraid of me, I guess. Well, let's ask. Why would I be afraid of you? You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this. When you look like you're in pain and when you keep secrets. The secrets are my own selfish desire, but they're for your own safety too. You're talking in circles. Why won't you just tell me what's going on? Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword, just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it's Jurian, Garly, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. Nani? I have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words have just left her mouth when the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm. Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know that we were here? In seconds, I hear the clanking of metal, and there are knights upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. Oh no, time to fight. Alert! The guard rushes me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knife falls after I catch him from behind, and give Claude an opening to attack him. Lucette. I manage to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me. What was that? It's Delora? I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attackers, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He's only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they're asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Or, well, earlier, as in, I don't know, I read that weird, I guess. Sorry, I couldn't focus enough to cast that spell earlier, as in, like, you wanted to cast that spell or whatever. Delora drops her hands and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head toward the entrance hall. The king must be one of the central rooms. Jurian, Garland, and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore if we're gonna get the king and queen out of here. We have to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On the right. Claude grabs his swords and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low toward a soldier, his sword posed straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers. A flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. Solar flare! You know? I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand. There's so many of them. Well, if it isn't the most desirable princess, okay? Who's this? I whip around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Who's that? I turned to see Claude running toward me, a panic expression in his eyes. I take a step toward him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Is Max and this guy? What was the guy? Barg or something, right? Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. Okay, was that like magic or trick? I assume maybe magic. Oh, he's a witch? I didn't know. We didn't know that before. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. Claude. Oh no. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Let me drink some water. I don't know, my throat is something in my throat. Let me drink some water. Anyway. Sleeping Beauty, eh? That's also like, I don't know, it's like Claude also mentions the beauty's curse. Is it based on Sleeping Beauty instead? I don't know how would that make sense? I don't know, because then someone would be like, I guess, cursed to fall asleep, I guess, and they wake up with a kiss or whatever. But like, I don't think that really fits Claude's curse, as far as I know. I don't know, unless maybe Sleeping Beauty is like another curse, because it's obviously a fairy tale of some sort. Somebody probably has a Sleeping Beauty curse. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out. The man laughs, and I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. He blindfolded me. I command you to take off this blindfold. I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off, and I flinch at a sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne, and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. So I imagine he's like the noise he's making. Your Majesty. The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go. No can do, princess. Oh, don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Okay, we're stuck too. Struggle all you like. You won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I am called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? Well, I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithros, you fool! How absolutely useless he was. Or the fool, not you. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Okay, Mithros apparently... I don't know what happened to Mithros then. Well, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. That man is in the past. Here, in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. Well, if it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithros made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithros remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. It seems like Mithros isn't here this time. It's weird. He was like the main villain in the Rod route, but not this time. It seems like, anyway. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? As eyes meet the king's, my eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this, my father? To the kingdom. Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers are run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. That's not true? I don't know. It's not true, though? I don't know. Maybe it's different in this fantasy world. A king that's too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne. But the people of Andor love their king. Before I had thought the townspeople were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regimen of fear. A regime? Regime? A regime. Be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. King Alcaster. Would have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast! What are you blabbering about, you fool? A beast? Oh, okay, so it really is Beauty and the Beast, I assume. The beast! A magical beast is rampaging around the palace! Whoa! Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead witch? Who's dead? I mean, one, there's Delora, obviously, and then another witch would be, Waltz, you know? Would Waltz be dead? I don't know. I mean, we probably didn't use enough magic for people to assume he's a witch. I guess he did a little, like, flashy light show, so I don't know. One of the witches are dead, I guess. Oh no. Dead. Witch? No, Delora is fine, she has to be. Well, out with it. Did Mythos do this? Mythos? Oh yeah, Mythos is also a witch as well. Oh yeah, maybe he's referring to Mythos? I guess this time maybe Mythos got betrayed instead, you know? I guess I remember in the Rod route, Mythos did say that either one of them, because they were having a weird like alliance or whatever, but either one of them would betray the other one eventually, and Mythos did it first in the Rod route, and maybe Alcaster did it first in this route. Interesting. What? I cannot stop myself from blurring out the question. Sir Mythos is a witch? He was a witch. Now he's dead. He turns to his knights and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mythos? A witch? Impossible. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone that beast goes up to you. I don't know what voice I'm giving that soldier. That damn Mythos still pain even after death. What did you do to Sir Mythos? Did you not hear me, girl? He's dead, killed by my hand. But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, princess. If Sir Mythos is a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? Maybe you'll find out in the other route, which we did actually. We did the route, so no, it doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not. But in the end, that fool was too power hungry. Ironic, considering you're power hungry too. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcaster turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep on the road. Oh no. There's a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mythos' doing. I'm so confused. Is it Sir Mythos? I mean, I guess, yeah, he's assuming that Sir Mythos summoned a beast. Maybe that's true, I don't know. So I'm assuming that, Claude is the beast, remember? Beauty and the Beast, right? It would make sense that he would literally turn into a beast, actually, because we didn't see him turn into a beast. Now that he's turned into a beast, it would actually make total sense. That's what his curse is. Assuming that I'm right, I don't know. What about the others? Are they okay? I don't know. Let me go, Alcaster. You are not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I will kill them. You, princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You. Tell me what all this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It's Mistral that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people. Oh, actually, what did he say? Oh, Alcaster said that. Whoops. It is Mithras that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You do ahead. Go ahead. No, You're asking me, of all people? As if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You. Rawr, it's Berserker from Fate Stay Night, oh no. Varg. It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithras' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not gonna let it live. Could Delore create a beast out of thin air? So Alcaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down, cutting the ropes, binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up quickly as quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists to a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks. He doesn't care about what happens. He's very chaotic neutral, I feel like. Don't think about it too much, princess. It's probably a little too much for your small little head. I swing my sword toward him and Varg catches it with his cane. Yeah. You really think that I'm the one you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear screaming as loud footsteps sounds against the hall's tiles. So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? Varg's intention is hard to understand. I mean, he seems like, you know, he wears a mask and everything. He's very smug. I assume he's like a third party, you know, that doesn't really care what happens. He just wants to see the world burn, I guess, or something like that. Okay, here's the beast. Very shadowy beast. Red eye. My eyes focus on a large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence. Then Alcaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. It's become Dark Souls. The big old boss and then like knights are trying to fight them, but probably gonna die, most likely. The beast throws him off with a surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. But over here, beast! Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of sight to the king, who's still bound and helpless on the throne. King, I have to get him out of here. I run toward the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It is then I notice that the beast is slowly making its way toward me. Why would it be after me? I wonder why. Anyway, either I stay here and fend it off, or Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe with his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize it is once more heading toward me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt through the door, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head toward the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trailing the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. You know, interesting that he's very like, I I guess, worried about the king now. You know, she initially she didn't really care about her father, you know, because her father didn't show her any love. But I guess, you know, I guess she's a good person now. You know, at the very end, she cares. I guess. I don't know. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alcaster, and for a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Alright, we flee. Bye-bye. Beauty in the center. Alright, I assume this is the last chapter. I assume something bad's gonna happen. Where did the beast come from? The knights immediately rush toward me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly. We'll help you keep you somewhere safe until this all died down. I raise my sword and stand ready when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Our apologies, Princess, but we are under orders from the king. Alcaster's not the true king. What do he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? There's never none of your concern. One of the knights moved towards me and I react on instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, Princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and my blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me. I feel his blade cut into my shoulder. Ow! I hiss at the pain that sings from the wound. I'm bleeding. Next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bump into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, Princess. We don't want to hurt you. No! I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. Ah! I assume the beast? Yeah. The beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, its mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes my throat. Ah! The knights change their focus to attacking the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances toward me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits the wall, and with nowhere else to go, I stand in the defensive position that Claude has taught me once again. I hold out the sword, and then use it to throw back the beast's shadow claw as he reaches out for me. That stands. I wonder how the beast sounds. He's like talking. It talks. Stay away from me. The beast moves towards me again, and I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. The knight throws his sword, the blade impelling itself at the beast's shoulder and giving me an opening. Throwing your sword, I mean, that always happens in movies, but like, swords aren't very aerodynamic, so that doesn't usually work, but I guess never mind, it doesn't matter. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach, and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess, I guess. Delora would never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mythos' doing. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention, and I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts. Like that, somewhere deep in its throat, and I stumble back without my sword, which is still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground, and I stare as it raises a hand to his chest. That motion reminds me so much of... Here we go. Right. It was all an illusion. The glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as I stare down at the ground. Right there, where the blood is already pooling around the sword in the beast's chest, is a rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave Claude. Why do you... The beast stares at me with glassy eyes, its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes from the beast's throat, and I realize that it's a grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me, unblinking, but his eyes are already beginning to haze over. The way it speaks, and the locket that it has. I look at the locket again. As the blood seeping beneath the surface, suddenly I realize If I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Lucette. Or more accurately, you'd be afraid of me because I'd be like a weird shadow beast. No. No, no! I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No, no, no! Claude! I clutch the locket to my chest as I kneel over the beast. Claude, no, please! I lean down to listen to his breathing. There's nothing but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. First blood? You killed a man. Amazing. There's the sound of footsteps behind me, but they're mute, unimportant. Claude, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. And then I zoom back in. Yep. We backstab him, Dark Souls backstab him, and then he dies. Amazing. Oh well. Bad and ominous. That happened. Let's try that again. Alright. Let's start all over. Then we start, let's see. I mean, this time, obviously, yeah, we're gonna choose the right choices, so we don't stab him in the heart again. I assume here? Yes? Yeah, starting here. Okay, so we just have to pick the right choices this time. Okay. Promise that you stay behind me for tact? Last time I said I can't promise that. Well, I guess. Okay, fine, we'll promise that this time. If it will make him feel better before going to this mission, I cannot deny his request. Claude's expression softened as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Thank you, princess. Okay, well. Alright. Even though I do like the idea of Lucette, you know, not being a damsel in distress, you know, having her own abilities to fight for herself and, you know, fighting on equal ground and everything. Warrior princess. Alright, so back to the mission where we save the king and queen, but blah blah blah. And then he said, like, we can never learn about his secret because they'd be afraid of you. You know, last time we asked, like, why would they be afraid of you? You know, it's not like you turn into like a big old shadow beast monster and try to murder everyone. And, we could say, like, we can affirm that we could never be afraid of you. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. That's what she said. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. When I think about it, I guess I didn't think about this before, but like, the woman he fell in love with, at least when he came to town, maybe he turned to a beast and something happened? I mean, either he killed her or maybe not. I don't know, maybe not killed her, but like, you know, learn about his secret and everything. And the only thing I don't like about the game is that you have to get every single question right. Yeah, I mean, it's typical like visual novel, I feel like. At least for me, anyway. Like, I actually want to get everything, you know. I tend to be the type of person, like, if I like the visual novel, I actually want to get all the endings, even the sad ones. I want to see the sad ones, too. Bad ones, the sad ones. I'm actually kind of fine with it, you know. I mean, it could be worse, you know, because there's some visual novels that are much more, I guess, cryptic. You know, which choices you need to do in order to get this. You know, you have to do this arbitrary choice in order to go down this route and then go down this path, you know, and everything. And it gets annoying if it's like very complicated. But I feel like this visual novel, at the very least, it shows like which choice in the beginning, you know, like this is the one that's right, and you know, this is how you get the other ending, whatever. Right? I feel like it's not too bad. But I guess that's only because I guess I go through a lot of visual novels, so it's old hat for me. But anyway, is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same. And again, I'm thinking like maybe he didn't kill her necessarily, but maybe he like, you know, because I guess the more he loves someone, the more he transforms into a beast, right? So like the woman he loved before, he probably like he fell in love with, and then he turned into a beast, and then she was like, ah, a beast, and then she runs away, right? So that's probably what happened. Oh yeah, it reminds. Oh yeah, I remember now. It reminds me of Spice and Wolf, actually, an anime basically. It's not a werewolf; it's a fox. Well, guess not to spoil too much, but like, you know, one of the characters is a fox girl that turns into like a beast, and you know, there's a very similar reaction. Anyway, he thinks I'm the same. I'm not like her. I'm not like your other lover who we never meet, so she's like a generic character. That's just like a plot element in your backstory. Lucette. He walks in with him, just reaches mine. Okay, yeah, we've seen this before, so we can start skipping. Stay behind me. I promised I would, remember? Yeah, we did promise that, so let's keep it that way. Like back to back. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Claw that I know. Knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm and hit me. And then she does a sleep spell. We split up. Varg, you know, comes in and like, hey, get wrecked, and then we get captured. Damn it, Varg. Now I wonder if Varg would be the main villain in the next route or something, you know? And hey, yeah, chapter 10, Beauty and the Beast. Alright, so this is the true path. Let's see what happens. Where did that beast come from? As we run away from the throne room, right? And everything. Knights immediately rush toward me, and I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly, we'll keep you somewhere safe until those all are down. I cannot take them all at once. Even knowing that I still pull on my sword, I take a few steps back and then suddenly feel my back pressed up against something. The beast stands behind me, its back to me. I stand in its shadow and I realize that if I turn around, it could swap me to the walls just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there, menacingly. Together. Together? The beast says nothing more, though I still feel on edge. There's something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once it was better to fight back to back. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast, it'll... Knight never finishes his sentence as the beast decapitates his head. Sends him flying through the air. Why is it helping me? The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but I manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver, and hear a grunt as a sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but... Beast! I aim a kick at the approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before it can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath the strength of the impact between our swords. I feel like my arms are going to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. Is it Waltz again? You know, is he doing his solar flare again? I stumble back, rubbing in my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beast is continuing to drive back the knights. Most of them are shouting to each other to retreat. What was that? When I am finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Oh. Okay, well, it wasn't solar flare, it was simply glass slippers. Glass slippers? I quickly reach out to my pendant and realize it's no longer there. We did our, I guess, final good deed, as it turns out. I completed my 3 good deeds? Lucette knows my name. I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone, the knights having fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? And also, are the glass slippers just on my feet now? Am I just wearing them? Which, I mean, they don't seem very, like, good, you know, in a combat situation. They seem like heels, right? So, probably take them off. I feel a pressure in my back and realize that the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me. You... okay? Daijoubu. Every word sounds breathless in pain, but it takes too much to speak. Is worried about me. I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture toward my shoes. You did it. I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. The rose locket. For a few moments my heart plummets into my stomach and my hand begins to quiver. What did you do to Claude? Did you kill him and loot his corpse or something? No. The beast's shadow fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me. Gave me. I gave that locket to Claude. The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then I suddenly realize that his words, nothing more than a pained growl, do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens as I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude? Yes. So this is your secret? Why would you not tell me? I could have hurt you, you idiot. Like that last one, I could have murdered you. Claude has another form, a curse form. You never told me. I would have been armed with better knowledge if you just told me that you turn like a scary beast sometimes, okay? Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like the pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. I could speak of them on them I would, but I can't. I should explain that you hate me, or more accurately, you'll be afraid of me. All of those times, Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls like that. The sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. Curse. Then the tattoo was a warning. The first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. When the rose became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you, it stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought he loved him, or he thought loved him, but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was scared of you. Wasn't she? Yes. He sounds so pained. The reason Claude's been trying to hide me from me is because he's scared that I would have feared him. You know, this reminds me of a dumb meme. What was the meme? If you don't like me at my best, or you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, or something like that. Or something like that. I feel like that would fit Claude. That's why beauty has always been so important to him. But the curse cast upon him makes him more beautiful and a beast. I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast. His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside of how slowly he's speaking. Fits almost too well. Well, Claude, I've never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and face him. I will love you, no matter what form you'll take. I mean, it's not so bad. You're like a weird shadow beast, but you're still humanoid and everything, so pretty sharp teeth, I guess. I guess you might need an all-meat diet, maybe? I don't know. Are you a carnivore now? I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I'm bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. Alright, we break his curse, right? I love you too, Lisette. You know, it kind of breaks the, I don't know, I feel like it's weird, but it kind of breaks the, I don't know what the word is, but it breaks the moral of the story. You know, the moral of the story is that if you love someone, you should love them no matter what they look like, whatever. But as soon as you do that, apparently they just revert back to their, beautiful form, or whatever, so it kind of defeats the purpose, you know? So it's not really a big deal. I don't know. Well, when I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. That warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize that it's because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. What if I wanted to beast though? Did I break his curse? I realize this is the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Okay, well, can you break it up now? Because the king is still being kidnapped, and Alcaster is still like, you know, the evil dictator and everything. Like, could you, like, hurry up your romantic moment or whatever? Anyway, Claude. Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me suddenly feel faint. Smooch. He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. Lucette, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the throne room. The king. Let's go, Lucette. Alright, back into the action. When Claude and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Lucette. He's still bound to the throne though. His gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. I don't know why his gag is removed. He's alive. He's alive and he remembers me. Oh, he also remembers. Yeah, because we broke the curse. Now, my gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate. Alcaster and... Fritz? Hey, Fritz! Hey, you're not dead! Hooray! What's happened here? This is not how you gain power. I knew you'd be a thorn in my side from the moment I concocted this plan. Where's Varg? The only one here is me, and I will... Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but is enough to give Alcaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he's too slow. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest. What? No! Ah, okay, he is dead. You know, I was hoping he didn't die this time. Or at least, I don't know what happened to him last time, but... I assume he died. And he's gonna die again this time. Poor Fritz. No! Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest, just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush to where Fritz has collapsed to the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Well, I mean, I guess we saved Claude, but this time Fritz dies. Fritz, lean over him. Rip, we barely knew ya. There's so much blood. I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Yeah. I assume they're fighting as he says this. Princess. I turn back to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on. Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please don't speak. I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. Sorry. I watch as the life seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still. See you in another route. Fritz. I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side of the room, struggling to get to his feet. Lucette, watch out! I turn, but I'm not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air, and I know it will reach me before I can pick up my sword. Oh, magic though. The sword falls from Alcaster's hand as a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it far from reach. A force pull. I turn and see Dolores standing a short distance away. Jurian, Garland, and Waltz are all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as a king has been incredibly disappointing. Jurian and Garland move together, rushing Alcaster from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Dolores rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from 3 different swords at once. The king. Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz as his expression becomes solemn. He walks off to the throne, while Delora kneels beside me. Delora. Delora shakes her head, and that's all I need to know that there's nothing more to be done. We will make sure he's properly honored, but for now we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe, I constructed the shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her. Were we meant to bring the royal family back to the Martians first? Not when we were missing the king. Besides, plans change when the magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Galcaster, who is still somehow managing to scream my name despite the fact he's being quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together! You could have joined the dark side and become a Sith Lord or something, I don't know. If you were more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back and Laura's hands come to rest on my forearms, the grip steadying. That is enough. I look up and see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me. Lucette, we have a lot to talk about. But right now, I have something I must do. I nod mutely as I watch the king draw his sword. His sword as well. He's gonna join the brawl, I guess. I don't know, maybe he's a little bit too much. I feel like he's already being overwhelmed. I don't know, adding another swordsman might complicate things. Gotta watch out for friendly fire. I don't know. He makes his way to Alcaster. Julian, Garland, and Claude step back from where they have forced Alcaster to one knee. Okay, well actually, yeah, he already surrendered, so never mind. You are a traitor, lacking any honor, Alcaster. You were the one that lacked honor. The ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. The ruler must lead the people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You are no king, Alcaster. For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for the severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. Just like a summary execution. Just bloodshed everywhere, yeah. Reminds me of, I forget what it was. A Shakespeare play, right? There's it's like one of the Shakespeare plays. I think Macbeth or something. One of them anyway, where everyone just dies. Everyone just fights and everyone just freaking dies. It's like that. There's no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed the sword at Alcaster's chest but has not killed him. Oh, okay. Not killed him yet. And you will stay in the prisons until the time for your trial comes. Though you might try to refute these claims, you'll be tried as a traitor to this kingdom. And then you will be executed. Alcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when the guards seize him and drag him from the room. Okay, he doesn't just die right away. Well, he'll die later, He'll die under the guillotine where everyone is cheering down the traitor, execute the traitor, as we throw tomatoes at his face. Anyway, the king immediately sends Jurian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Laura and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in on the most basic points of our successful operation. Okay, mission accomplished. Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Interesting that Waltz is speaking directly to the king. Does the king know who Waltz is? Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after. After I can get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, princess. What are you doing here? Here, I thought you changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, princess. We had lost so much, and the future seemed so grim. But now it's different. You have a future. You broke your curse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope. In addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. my heart still feels tight. It's a little lighter when I think about it. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude, I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. I guess it's been pretty hectic. So Claude turned to a beast because he loved me. Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse, just give the explanation. Stop, desist. Dolores has not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping as if he's been running through the halls. Curse? Are you speaking about my curse? There's no way he heard us talking in the hallway, is there? Even I feel lost for words right now. I sense that you might be talking about me. The princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running, and here I was just guessing at what you might be talking about. Claude's curse was based off the tale of the Beauty and the Beast. Claude easily finishes her sentence. Laura holds up her hands as if in surrender, so eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you are talking about me after all. You always told me that your curse was just the Beauty's curse, though. Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it? He has a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he had been so secretive about his curse. Yeah, that's also what I was saying. Just tell us. Just tell me. I mean, as long as when you turn into a beast, it seems like you still have some control over your impulses, right? Well, it's not like you turn evil when you turn into a beast. It's just that your appearance changes, right? So, just tell people, I guess. I don't know. You really must have been scared that I would shun him. Well, allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice. Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Just trying to lighten the mood. Claude sighs. I would call this as something far more flattering, like my sweet beloved. We were talking about your curse. Oh, right. Well, anyway, the witch who cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and be loved before the petals of a rose completely falls off. A rose? Yes, he gives him a rose, and he keeps it protected under glass. Some time passes, and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast and he transforms back to a human. By confessing I saved you, but his curse was different from the tale. I know what you're thinking, that my curse was somewhat different. Well, every fairy tale curse is like a little bit different, right? It was more complicated. The witch made it so that I was both the beauty and the beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls for me falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transform into a beast, the enchantment would break and they would become terrified of me. I doubt Claude ever thought he would break his curse. The love woman fell for him while he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned to a beast if it was never true love to begin with? Then you came along, Princess. I bet he just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday, but now here you both are. Maybe when you think about it, in the other routes, maybe, when Lucette, becomes a terrible bear, maybe, in the other routes, she could just, dispel all the other curses, all the other curses that might happen on the other, routes, we just, snap our fingers and, for example, Rod doesn't die, because we come into power and use our magical powers to stop him from dying or something. I don't know. But the Ice Princess in love, what a miracle! I turn away embarrassed. It's not a miracle, I picked it on the route selection screen, I'm very glad I met you, Lucette. Lady Dolores' words are the truth. I just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I thought the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and you fell in love, a fairy tale indeed. You started out frowning a little and everything. You've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations, you turned out to be a pretty okay princess. And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch. Then my eyes deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? You look so surprised. Will you be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, princess? I expect good things from you. Right, I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will the surprises never cease? Before I can snap at Laura again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with Walt by his side. Pardon the intrusion. Oh, not at all, your majesty. Walt told me that you were cursed. That's why I forgot about you. Yes. Even if it was by a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. So I will make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago, and maybe things can be different. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way that I was before. For being a bitch. I mean, no. For shunning Ophelia and her children. Even though, again, it's not really her fault because her mother trained her to be that way. Oh, Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Martian? Ophelia is still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She's still waiting for Rod and Emeline to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me the story from the beginning? Or perhaps I could fill in the gaps, your majesty. Claude? The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks as if he has just noticed his presence. Well, he's good at hiding, you know, he's a chameleon or whatever. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I am Prince Claude of Bergantia. A pleasure to finally meet you, your majesty. The lost prince? The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprises me by wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked, except for Delora, who looks like she's trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel it my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. Lover? Well, I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are now on me, and I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Yeah, this is the second time I guess, you know, Ra is like also a prince, and now he's also a prince, so I feel like just having a nobility as our lovers, you know, at least for these two rounds. I wonder who, well, I guess we'll learn who Rumpel is. Is he another prince? Is everyone a prince? I don't know. Only Claude would so bluntly say such a thing. The king looks more shocked than anything. When did this happen? Well, your majesty, I think we had better start at the beginning. We were able to tell the king everything, save for where Vark had disappeared to. No one was sure where he had gone in all the chaos. Knight's searches for him all ended in failure. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people of the tavern. As soon as everything has calmed down, Rod and Emeline finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best as I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. And again, I wonder, Rod, does he disappear? I wonder, like, maybe, you know, maybe in different timelines, you know, maybe it's like weird, but like, maybe in different timelines also, like maybe Vioreka, you know, for example, doesn't like marry Isamon, you know, maybe, or I don't know. I guess unless the writer deliberately explains it, I don't think it really is explained, but that's what I like to think. I like to think, you know, in the different timelines, everything turns out, you know, decent for everyone else, even despite not being, you know, lovers with Lucette, right? And I'm really trying, except Fritz, he's dead. That's the only. Fritz just dies every time. I don't know. I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude, you're getting back. Are you sure you don't want to come to Bergantia with me, just for a short holiday? I would love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you probably. He makes jokes frequently, and Llama. What did you just say? Llama? He has a pet llama. A pet llama? My brother, Llama. What? Another acronym. We're Karma and Llama, okay? Does your father do these things on purpose? I told you he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce the two of you. And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am. Is it just my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I would like to meet your family, You have your own obligations here, and you need to let your family know that you're safe and alive. The thought of being separated from you. Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Fine then. I'll miss you. Maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Lucette. Alright. It's been only a few weeks since Claude left, but I am impatient. The king has been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking of Claude. I told him about all the smaller birthday celebrations. I thought he would be here for them. My birthday is in a few days. When will he come back? I've tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practices with Julian and Garland, who both rejoined the Order of Caldera. Every time I am around the nights, I think of Fritz. I should bring some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go pay our respects together by pressing F. Hello, said my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. Okay, he's here. Claude? I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. It seems like a running joke, I guess. Never knock. Second, we are not engaged. We may as well be, don't you think? At the very least, knock before you come in. Still worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly? Yes! It's worth saying those things just to see you blush. Why are you even here? His arrival was so sudden I had absolutely no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here? No, I mean, you're not even right to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you. I did say I would be back for your birthday. I am a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer? No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, holding me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder. It is a startling contrast to what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me. Now, he is always right next to me. Claude's whole body seems to relax when I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I would miss you. It really was terrible being away from you. But you enjoyed the time with your family. I did, and my brother was very frustrated when I spoke about you almost every hour of the day. How could you have that much to say about me? Oh, I felt that I didn't have enough time to list off all of your virtues. I nudge him in the arm, he just grins at me. A glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye, and I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to that night, when he transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are you? I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you. Of course I do. It's become my most valuable possession. He pulls the little locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see the small sheet of paper with my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words aloud. A normal rose would have withered, but I offer this one instead, and heartfelt thanks. Yeah, I get it. Funny how that works. It's like very symbolic of his curse. I say nothing when he turns to look at me. Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling. I'm not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep the words in there or that they would ever mean so much to him. Yes, of course. You just have exceptionally rosy cheeks, He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because it's the first gift you gave me. He was holding the locket as the beast too. It was half the reason I recognized him. I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you. I smile as he winks at me. Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present. Since I promise you no more secrets, let me tell you something. Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowing, and I frown. I hope it's nothing serious. I'm nervous about sitting down to your dinner with your father tonight. You're nervous? I start laughing without even meaning to. You're laughing my pain, princess. He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. But you're too flamboyant to be nervous. I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There's a difference. Right. Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Lucette, I'm still sorry about lying to you. That whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful. Someone I wasn't. I believed I was truly a good person on the inside, and that I deserved good things, even though I was selfish. He's already apologized to me before, too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologize. No, that witch was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I came to Angel, I believed that it wasn't gonna help break my curse. It wasn't important. Then I met you. At first I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse. Then, Lucette, I realized I was just drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I would lose my chance of winning your heart. Do you see, princess? I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I look down where our hands are intertwined. I grip his fingers tighter. Well, I've told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Those words are out of my lips before I can even think them. I stop suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I have caught him off guard. Then the puzzled look fades, and Claude just grins at me. Oh my, so forward. Forward? I open my mouth to apologize when he suddenly grabs my hands and tugs me down to the bed. The instincts Claude taught me in my sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise. In no time at all, he has pinned me down to the bed and is looming just above me, smiling. Okay. I'm getting raunchy at the end here. I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness and you didn't even exploit it there. Your weakness? Yes. He leans closer to me, our noses almost touch. My weakness is you, Lucette. Schmooch. He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax into the contact, my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me. You see, I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. What happens if someone uses like illusion magic, and transforms themselves into like Claude, and then they stab you in the stomach, maybe you shouldn't let your guard, I don't know, anyway. I don't know, in this world of magic that could happen. This whole time, all I have wanted to do is be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently at my arm. He leans down to kiss me again. Second smooch. Oh, no. The sound of knocking startles us both. A muffled voice comes through the door. Princess, the king is requesting your princess down in the dining hall. He says that your friends have arrived. Princess? I hear the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. I'll let him know, princess. First the curse and now this. It is as if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more in the forehead before slowly sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, Lucette, we'll just finish this later. We'll do this off-screen, because we can't do this on-screen. We gotta be, family-friendly for the most part anyway. I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things. Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him. I love you, Lucette, and now I get to say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand up on my toes to plant a quick kiss on his lips. We're heading to the other. So much kissing. So much smooching. Let's go, Claude. Alright. Yeah, I assume it's over. Yeah. I assume, later on they just get married and probably have like a political alliance with the other kingdom, Just like on the side. That happens. It's actually, ironically, it's a much more convenient, actually. Because he's just from a prince from a different country. It makes total sense. Unlike Rod, who's in the same royal family, so they have to hide their little their little affair a little bit. Anyway, how do I feel about this route? It's good. I find all the routes good, I guess. I don't know. I like the well, I don't know, it's funny because, you know, obviously you play the otome games for the romance, which is good. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm a little like I don't know what the word is. Empty? Not empty, but like, you know, maybe I'm a little cynical, but I feel like the romance part is actually not what draws me in, but actually learning about the world, learning about the I guess the plot, maybe, about the characters, because I don't know, the one thing I'm interested in is the fact that in the Rod route, Mithros was the main villain, right, and everything, but Alcaster now, in this route, was the one that was the, I guess, the main, you know, the main bad guy here, so it's interesting that Mithros got betrayed this time instead, and everything, and Fritz as well. I'll learn more about Fritz later. And I guess we're gonna learn more about him in his route, but yeah, I want to learn about Fritz, you know? We just see him dying all the time, I don't know. Or at least we saw him dying in this route. I don't know what happened to him in the last route, but I guess he just disappeared, I don't know. And everything's a little bit different. I like that, I kinda like that, I mean, I like any kind of like a time travel story, you know? Even though this is not a time travel story, obviously, but, you know, every kind of like visual novel, I feel like, is sort of like that, you know? Where it's kind of like a time loop, like a Groundhog Day kind of thing, where like small subtle things always keep changing, you know, in the plot, because you do different decisions. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea. Even though, again, this is not really like a time travel plot, but you know, that's what's interesting about a visual novel to me, anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Like, oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I was thinking that we would go in order, but I guess Claw is over here. Okay, that's because it's in rows. Claw's over here, Claw's over there. I really want to know, like, what happens if we get all the routes. I don't know. I wonder. There's probably isn't, but I wish there was like a interesting like true end, maybe like getting all the routes and just like one final secret route. I don't think there is though. I think I looked it up or something. I looked at the route. I mean, generally, obviously I avoid spoilers, but I looked up at like, you know, the order of routes you need to play, and no one ever mentioned like a secret route or anything. So as far as I know, there isn't like a, I don't know, like a 6th router or anything like that. But we'll see. Next one will be, I guess, Rumpel, right? Rumpelstiltskin. You know, I kind of don't like him. You know, Rod is okay, Karma's okay. I kind of don't like Rumpel, you know, because he's like a big old playboy, and I don't know. I don't like his personality. I don't know. We'll see. I guess maybe he gets better. You know, just like Lucette. Maybe he gets better later on. I don't know.